Hello everyone and welcome to Cartan Field for today's PAL matchup between your 3-0 Menlo Knights and the 2-1 Jefferson Grizzlies visiting from Daly City. Today's game is the Open Division opener for both schools, and with multiple OC teams beating J Division schools already this year, the division promises to be extremely competitive. The Grizzlies are led by their head coach, Sergio Portela Jr., and his assistants, Scotty Bernard, Carl Fox, Ivan and Eric Moore, and Oscar Ray. Of course, your Knights are led by head coach Todd Smith and his superb staff made up of Austin Thomas Daniels, Mike McAdams, Nick Lysette, Dominic Cole, Peter Zappis, and Giovanni Stanley. And now for a familiar statement from the CIF, High School Sports Governing Body. Menlo School and the CIF require good sportsmanship and positive behavior of student athletes, cheerleaders, band members, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Please be mindful of your language and actions at all times and treat others with dignity and respect. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions, especially concerning race, gender, or ethnicity, directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other spectators will not be tolerated and are grounds for immediate removal from the school premises and future events. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a safe, inclusive, and positive student environment. And finally, Menlo School asks you to please rise and remove your cap as we welcome back Menlo's Xavier Toscano to deliver a live performance of our national anthem. Xavier, the microphone is yours. Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose buckler and bright star through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streamed,
and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Outstanding. Xavier Toscano, everyone. Okay, the captains have had their meeting at midfield with our terrific officiating crew made up of Mike Adams, Barry O'Driscoll, Jeff Adler, John Zahersky, John Montalbano, and Brandon Nagin. The Knights have won the toss and have elected to receive the opening kickoff, which is just moments away.
From Daly City. Jefferson coming in at 1-2, 2-1. And this will be the opening Ocean League battle between the Knights and Jefferson. Last year, Menlo went undefeated in the Ocean League. The one team they did not play, however, was Jefferson. The Knights got off to a 4-0 start. Offense was the name of the game for weeks 1 through 3. Last week, though, the Menlo offense struggled, and the defense really picked them up in leading the Knights to a victory over Bay Power Terra Nova. The Knights will receive the opening kickoff. Back deep is going to be number 7, Jack Geisler, and number 3, Ty Richardson. Menlo coming off its bye week. Jefferson coming off a victory over Castlemont in Oakland. As Jefferson lining up at the 40-yard line. Kicking off will be number 45, Lainel Sandoval. So the Knights looking to get their offense back on track after they struggled a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. They will be led by quarterback Sergio Beltran. We're sure to see a lot of junior Jake Bianchi, who's been, both quarterbacks have been outstanding in weeks 1 through 3. The left footer runs up. We got a pooch kick, and that's Willis Johnson, number 26, receiving the ball at the 30. Johnson's got some room, moving, still on his feet, and great return by the sophomore, Willis Johnson, who crosses the 50. Knights will start at the 49-yard line.
Back to midfield when the Knights take over, 1st and 10.
Willis Johnson made his varsity debut 2 weeks ago against Michigan. And in that game, he also took the opening kickoff for a short gain. But here, Johnson gives the Knights outstanding field position. So Beltran comes out. Knights are in a 2-by-2 formation. That's Carter Jung, number 5, in motion. Snap to Beltran, quick pass. He's got Jung in the flats. Carter Jung makes one-man miss, gets outside. There he goes. Outside the 10-yard line, and Carter Jung for a gain of about 16 yards on 1st and 10.
Sergio Beltran leads his team out onto the field, and they complete their
Beltran
first
and Jung
pass.
have been doing this
The first down
all season.
to Carter Jung.
And so the Knights will have Bob Enright, number 11, and Ben Bonatow, number 4 at wide. Beltran again to Jung in the flats. Jung is able to get outside, past the 30, wrestled down at about the
Jung again pushed out
27-yard line.
at about the 27 by number 3.
That's a gain of 7 yards. So Beltran off to a quick start, 2-2.
Alpio.
And this Menlo hurry-up offense is not slowing down for anyone. There it is, Aiden Zhao, the center, number 56. And we got again Bonatow and Enright are the wideouts. Carter Jung, a slot, number 88, Court Halsey, also a slot. That's Jack Geisler out of motion. That's an empty backfield. Snap to Beltran, quick throw to Bonatow. And that should be enough
And on 2nd and 4
for a first
Beltran
down. We'll
finds
see.
Ray Bonatow.
And there is a flag on the play, this being October, and breast cancer awareness, where the flags will be pink. So it looks like
There is
a
flag on the play.
procedure penalty, and that'll back the Knights up. So now that turns this into a 2nd and 9. Beltran out of the gun, looks over. Jefferson coming out in a 3-4 defense. There's a ball caught by Bonatow on a slant route, and that'll be good for a first down.
Over the middle to number 4, Ben Bonatow. That'll be a first down, Knights.
Great timing between quarterback receiver Beltran. Two steps, throws, hits Bonatow in stride. Here we go. There's a quick route to Enright. Makes one man miss. Makes another man miss. And Robbie Enright bouncing off people into the end zone for a touchdown.
To Bobby Enright. Bounces through
What an
and off 4
outstanding
defenders.
catch and run
Enright's
by
all the way
Rob
into the end
Enright.
zone. That's a 20.
Junior's been doing this
Touchdown.
all season long. And again, the Knights early on attacking the flats, forcing Jefferson to make plays on the Knights' speedy receivers. And Menlo, we've seen Jung get outside, and now Robbie Enright bounce off numerous tackles. Look at him. That's 1, 2, 3. He made another guy miss earlier. He breaks 4 tackles into the end zone for a touchdown.
Delay of game on the Knights.
So we got on the PAT, so that'll back up kicker Ross Muchnick. Muchnick, one of the premier kickers
Muchnick in for the kick.
in the entire country for his grade. So now Muchnick will line up at the 15-yard line. And Menlo just needs about 1 minute and 30 seconds of game clock to score the first points of the game. And Muchnick's PAT hits the cross right,
Kick is no good.
and that'll be no good. 6-0
Halsey on the snap.
Menlo over Jefferson.
So 90 seconds into the game,
So the
Knights take a 6-0 lead.
The Menlo offense today, they'll see a couple new players in, especially at the offensive line. Ari Crane is a junior, and he's going to be starting at right guard. Ari Crane's one of these guys. He's great at everything he does. As a sophomore, he was a captain of the junior varsity team, played slot receiver and middle linebacker, comes up as a junior and gets the start at right guard. He also plays linebacker. He's one of those guys, he also does mock trial, and everything he does, extraordinarily well. Except for trash talking. According to unsubstantiated rumors, Ari Crane might be the worst trash talker in the entire CCS. He once lined up across from a kid and said, "Excuse me, friend, but it would behoove you not to fake this punt." And he's just a nice guy, but he's got to work on his trash talking. All right, Menlo getting set to line up. This will be Ross Muchnick kicking off from the 40. On the outside, we got Chris Liao, number 6, Ty Richardson, number 3. And here comes Muchnick, who's been putting them into the end zone on a very consistent basis. He runs up, and the junior launches one that will be bobbled by number 7, who now picks it up. And the Knights with outstanding coverage, converging, and finally with a slew of Knights.
Number 7, Dylan Camp takes the deep kick.
Tackling number 7, Dylan Camp, so Jefferson is going to start deep in their own territory, starting at about the 9-yard line. Oh.
18 just made that play.
Maybe it was 19, Charlie King.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Charlie King. So a gang of Knights come in on that kickoff coverage, led by number 19, Charlie King, the junior. So here come the Knights. Their defensive line has been extraordinary, and they're all 3 juniors. Ralston Raphael at nose has been a menace to opposing offenses. On the ends, we have Court Halsey and Avery Romaine. Jefferson first pass is run up the middle, not much there. Menlo sniffed that up for a no gain. Whole bunch of Knights in there, including Aiden Hausenbald and Ralston Raphael. If you watch that, Raphael gets huge pushback, which really opens up the lane for Tyler Flynn, number 22, the senior linebacker, to come down and make a tackle. So Jefferson with a 2nd and 9. Jefferson again in quads. That's a direct snap to the quarterback, who's going to run, and he's met by a bunch of Knights, including Bob Enright. Position to make the tackle, and Enright, we saw him a few minutes ago break numerous tackles and put the Knights on the board.
You prefer that, Ryan?
So that's a great job. You see Sam Scola
They say he likes it.
really keeping outside contained, forcing the runner to go back inside, and that's where the help is with safety Enright. So now 3rd and 5 for Jefferson, shotgun. They're going to keep it on the ground and coming out.
On 3rd and 5, the Grizzlies sweep left. Terrific
And so
tackle by
Jefferson
number 5, Carter
running
Jung.
on 3rd and 5.
Brings up 4th down.
You had Jung come just knife through, untouched, outstanding tackle. That's a loss of 4 yards. And look, here comes the punting unit. So the Knights defense picking up where they left off 2 weeks ago, forcing a 3 and out. Here comes Jefferson's punt formation, back deep for the Knights. We got Knights alive. Here comes number 6. That was an outstanding rush by Liao, put a lot of pressure on. Enright picks it up, runs to his left. He's got some room. Still on his feet. And Robbie Enright is very difficult to bring down. The Knights will have outstanding field position. Taking over at their own 20. However, there is a flag on the play. So you see Enright again, who's almost able to turn the corner. And let's see what the flag is all about. Referees at the middle of the field talking. So the Knights offense coming out for the second time. They started their first possession at the 49 and took 90 seconds to go 49 yards, ending in a Robbie Enright touchdown from Sergio Beltran. They're again going to have excellent field position. Looks like, well, the penalty is now, so this is going to be something that happened after the kick or perhaps during the return. So the Knights, who were initially going to start at their own 20, are now starting at the 48 of Jefferson. Now in high school, these are spot fouls, so something may have happened.
Enright's return was to the 20-yard line, but the penalty will back the Knights up to the Grizzlies' 48-yard line, where Sergio Beltran and his crew will take over.
Now here comes Menlo. And the Knights now have Court Halsey in at a tight end, 3 receivers to the right. And Beltran sprint right, he's going to keep it. He's got some room, makes one man miss. Another man miss, he's still on his feet, and Sergio Beltran, who can beat you with his legs just as effectively, even perhaps more effectively than he can with his arms. Last game, Beltran ran for 187 yards. And he's just the definition of a dual threat quarterback. So here we go, Knights in 2-by-2. Beltran, quick pass, Banatau out to the wide, gets outside, and Ben still going. And the Knights, another 15-yard play.
Beltran finds Banatau out in the left flat. Gain of about 15, that's good enough for another Knights first down.
Excellent job by Ben Banatau to get outside. Once you get outside the corner, there's usually not one there. And defenses you teach, you want your corner to go outside in to force the receiver into the middle where the help is. But a great job by the Knights receivers getting to the outside. So Beltran now and trips to the right, takes a snap, 3-step drop. He's got Geisler in the flats. There goes Geisler to the 10, 5, dives, and he is in for another Knights touchdown.
The man in motion, Jack Geisler.
So Jack Geisler comes out of the backfield and scores for Menlo. Great job by the Knights offensive line. Look at Max Kinder really hold his block and give Beltran that time so that he can find Geisler in the flat. Geisler does the rest, and the Knights are up 12, extra point by Ross Muchnick. So the Knights 2 possessions, 2 quick scoring drives. Here comes Muchnick. He had a rare miss earlier in the quarter. There's the snap, Muchnick's kick, and this one is good.
And the kick is good. It's Halsey to Beltran to Muchnick, who punches it through. It's 13-0 Knights.
So Menlo with a 13-0 first quarter lead. Less than 5 minutes have gone on and played in this first quarter of football, and the Knights off to a quick lead. Now this is important possession for Jefferson because they're going to want to make sure they can move the ball downfield, hopefully get some points on the board. Because if the Knights can now hold them to a 3-and-out, then that really puts them into a position where they can put some points on the board and start making the Jefferson Grizzlies panic.
Looks like Damian Killian and Dylan Camp back deep for the Grizzlies.
So Muchnick again will be kicking off. Last one he kicked.
Muchnick will be kicking from his own 40.
That was caught at around the 3-yard line, bobbled in fact. So Muchnick, who generally is able to put the ball in the end zone on about 70 to 80% of his kicks. We'll see, the wind might be playing a little factor today. But that is just such a weapon when you got a kicker who can put the ball in the end zone and force the opponents to start at their own 20-yard line and have to go through a long field. Here comes Muchnick, runs up, and that's a deep big kick that's going to be fielded by Jefferson. They got a little room there, and that's number 13 who's going to run out across the 30 down to about the 33-yard line.
Killian takes the kick for the Grizzlies. He returns it out to about the 30-yard line.
So the Knights defense coming out there, coming off a 3-and-out. And Jefferson with their offense
like Sam Skole on the tackle.
trying to get on track to make sure this game doesn't get out of hand.
Okay, the Grizzlies take over with their second possession. 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10. For the Knights, we have Rob Enright at safety, Ty Richardson And Ben Bonatow will be corners. Actually, check that. Bonatow is going to be a safety. Geisler's a corner. And now they drop the safety down. And there comes Tyler Flynn. And look at Hausenbold untouched. So the Knights today have 3 down linemen. You have Raphael at the nose, and then Avery Romaine and Halsey on the ends. They're dropping a safety down, so essentially it's 5 linebackers. And then they have Enright at safety, and then Richardson and Geisler on the corners. So we'll see if they continue to drop Bonatow down into what is essentially a 3-5 look. So now they're in a Knights in a 3-4 linebackers. Tyler Flynn, Carter Jung, Aiden Hausenbold, and Sam Scola. Every single one of those guys is a senior. Here comes Jefferson. Sprint right. Looking. And now he's going to tuck the ball and run, and there's a host of Knights. So it looks like the ball came out. Menlo's saying they got the ball, and they do.
The Grizzlies, Taylor on the rollout.
That looks like Tyler Flynn.
22, Tyler Flynn, the ball comes loose.
Popped the quarterback, forcing a fumble, and now Menlo, for the 3rd time today, they're going to start in Jefferson territory for the 3rd time in this first quarter. That's an outstanding effort by Flynn. And then if you watch that Knights defense, look how everyone is rallying to the football. And so what happens when you get guys, when you get guys rallying to the football, and somebody puts the ball on the ground, it's great to have 4 or 5 blue jerseys around there to fall on it and get the ball. So that was Flynn who knocked it out. Unsure who recovered that ball, but in any event, the Knights are going to take over, this time inside the 30-yard line of Jefferson. So Beltran, after touchdown passes on his first 2 possessions, will come back and lead this Knights offense. So the Knights offensive line, we have Aiden Hausenbold, Ari Crane, Ralston Raphael, Aiden Zhao, and Max Kinder. In the backfield, Jack Geisler, number 7. We'll see a lot of Ty Richardson. He's a junior, number 3. And then the Knights have outstanding depth at the receiver position. We've seen Enright, Bonatow, Jung with a bunch of catches already in this game. Cord Halsey, number 88. He gets a lot of touches. And now the Knights have Tyler Flynn, who's lined up in a up back position. And he's going to get the ball in the flat. And there goes Flynn. Makes one man miss. He's still on his feet. And running, and he won't even go down. So Tyler Flynn, the senior, another weapon for this Menlo offense.
4 Grizzlies to push him out of bounds.
Watch Flynn kind of stop on a dime, cut back, keeps his legs going, doesn't go down. So now Tyler Flynn in an offense playing the Y position. We have trips left. Knights at about the 11-yard line. That's a direct run by Beltran, who falls forward. Not much there.
Beltran with the keeper. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 11.
So Beltran running behind Crane and Kinder for a short gain. Actually, he lost a yard there. It'll be 2nd down, 11. Knights look to the sideline for their plays. You got Sam Scola in at wide out. He's Scola and Bonatow out wide. Flynn is wide open, and that is a touchdown Menlo.
On to Flynn. Touchdown Knights.
Outstanding execution. So if you watch what Menlo does, they've been
12-yard pass to the running back
having a lot of success
19-0 Menlo.
on those quick smoke passes into the flat. And if you look what Beltran does, he fakes like he's going to throw the quick screen, and then Flynn, who is usually blocking, he just releases completely free, wide open. Great ball by Beltran, and Tyler Flynn's got great hands. He's not going to drop that. So With 5:07 left in the first quarter, Menlo, 3 possessions, all 3 possessions started inside Grizzlies territory. All 3 possessions ending in touchdown passes from Beltran. The first to Enright, the second to Geisler, the third to Tyler Flynn.
With a good snap, Beltran with a clean hold, and Muchnick kicks it through the uprights. The
And
PAT
so,
is good, and the score is 20-0.
Muchnick, with his second PAT, gives Menlo the lead, 20-0. The Knights offense, after struggling in their last game 2 weeks ago, has certainly found a rhythm. Just 7 minutes into the game, they have scored on every possession. I don't recall an incomplete pass yet. So Sergio Beltran doing what he did in weeks 1 through 3, where he's absolutely carving up defenses. The Knights have had a lot of success attacking the flats. And now Jefferson lining up. They're going to need to get something going right now. They have not had much success in the run game.
Back deep for the Grizzlies.
So we'll have Muchnick kicking off from the 40.
The kick from his own 40.
The last 3 kicks from Muchnick have gone to about the 5-yard line. So he's getting ready. He's going to see if he can get one into the end zone. So Muchnick will be kicking from the 40. And this one will be pooched. Lands at about the 20 and goes out of bounds. So this time Muchnick was trying to pooch the ball probably around the 20 and 50, between the 15 and 20, and see if it can drop there and see if some Menlo Knights can fall on the ball. But this time the ball rolls out of bounds. So Jefferson will get some decent field position. So Jefferson's first 2 possessions were 3 and outs. Their third possession was a turnover on a fumble. And now the Grizzlies really need to get something going. They're going to start at the 35-yard line. And
All right, Tyler Taylor will bring his Jefferson Grizzlies out. They'll have 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line after a penalty.
Menlo defense, again, the linebacking crew of Scola, Flynn, Jung, Hausenbold, all seniors. They're behind that junior defensive line of Raphael, Halsey, and Avery Romaine. Menlo now in a 3-4, 2 safeties. Here comes Carter Jung showing blitz. There's a jet sweep to number 13. Menlo, the job of keeping contained, forcing the runner back. That was Sam Scola forcing the runner to go back inside where the Menlo linebackers are waiting for him. And Jefferson is having a really difficult time. Watch Scola here, number 25. See how he pushes the guy, forces the runner to go inside where he's got his help. That's outstanding defense by Scola. He may not have been credited with the tackle, but he's the one who made that play. Now Jefferson back to pass, and number 2 is met by a swarm of Knights defenders. The ball pops out, now ruling that it will be a sack. And now with a Jefferson player down, you see Halsey got the penetration, and that was Tyler Flynn with the sack. Flynn with a touchdown.
Leads to the sack by Flynn.
Touchdown last drive, and now from the linebacker position comes up and gets the quarterback sack. So injury timeout as a Jefferson player is down on the field. Trainers are tending to him. So is looking outstanding. Really fast play by the linebackers. Hausenbold, Scola, Flynn. The reason these guys are able to make all these plays is because of our D-line. If you look at Menlo's D-line, it's Ralston Raphael he's getting tremendous push on every play, driving the center back 2 or 3 yards, and then Halsey and Romaine are able to use their quickness and athleticism to disrupt the quarterback. Menlo's secondary, it's a hard team to pass against. They have Enright and Ben Bonatow, 2 athletic ball hawks. Both of them with multiple interceptions this season. And then out on the corners, you have Geisler and Ty Richardson. Two great athletes, good closing speed, outstanding coverage skills. People have been talking a lot about the Menlo offense, but this defense has been outstanding all season long. So now as a Jefferson player gets helped off the field, we all wish for the best for number 70. So as we get back to football, it's going to be 3rd and 13. And Menlo trying to get another 3 and out here. So now we got Chris Liao checking into the game. He's in a safety. This looks like a specific package. We have our 2 corners in Geisler and Richardson. And then they brought in an extra safety, Liao, Banatao, and Enright. If you watch, they're lined up right at the first down marker. Romaine, Halsey, and Raphael are again on the defensive line. And when you're able to put pressure on the quarterback, only rushing 3, that just makes things so much easier for your defense. Put pressure and frees up the linebackers to run around, and we've seen that already with Flynn, Hausenbold, and Scola. So here we go, an extra defensive back into the game. Liao, number 6. There we go, Jefferson motion. And they're keeping it on the ground, and Avery Romaine coming from its end position and swallowing up the Jefferson running back. So that's going to bring it 4th and long, and we will see Jefferson's punt team. So if you watch Avery there, he sets his man to the outside, then cuts underneath right to where the ball carrier is. Great play by Avery Romaine. Avery Romaine having an outstanding season on the defensive line. He's the 6'3" junior. Was called up towards the end of his sophomore season and is having an outstanding junior year, along with his other junior defensive linemen, Raphael and Halsey. High snap handled, and that'll be a low kick. And the Knights are watching the ball. Jefferson lets it roll. And so Menlo, for the first time today, is going to take over in their own territory. However, this is outstanding field position. They'll be at their own 46-yard line. So Menlo, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns early on. Sergio Beltran yet to miss a pass.
Here come Beltran and the Knights. 1st and 10 at their own 46.
So Knights back with Enright and Ben Banatao out wide. Court Halsey in a tight end position. And Carter Jung is the slot. Snap, quick throw, Enright, and Enright making people miss. Able to turn what could have been a loss of 2 into a gain of 6.
Catch, gain of 5. Brought down by number 80, Jericho Bautista.
So watch again Enright how it's a quick snap. The Jefferson defender is able to slip underneath. He's right there, but Enright's just been having an outstanding game making people miss. Beltran now dropping back, and Carter Jung with an incredible catch. What an athletic catch by Carter Jung. Outstanding. Let's take a look at this replay. Oh, we have a flag on the play, and this could be against Carter Jung, who, after making an incredibly athletic catch, got a little excited and spiked the ball. Spiking is not allowed in high school football. So that's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Jung, and it's hard to blame him. He made an incredible catch, and just a little enthusiasm, and is going to back him up. So Jung comes out. Chris Liao, number 6, the junior slot, checks in. Liao is another extremely dangerous receiver. The Knights are very talented at the skill position. You have guys, Liao, Ty Richardson, Aaron Chen, some of these guys who haven't been getting as much playing time, but they are all extremely talented, really good receivers. So here we go, and look at Ben Bonatow make another great catch.
Beltran over the middle to Ben Bonatow. Strong grab.
So Sergio Beltran keeps us going. He had trips left. Beltran just drops back. Good protection. Great job blocking by Geisler, and finds Ben Bonatow on the drag route. So here comes Menlo. There's that smoke route to Enright, and that was bobbled by Enright. Dangerous pass.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
You got two receivers from Jefferson. Excuse me, two defenders.
For Enright.
And it bounces off Enright's hands, but in the air. Dangerous play. Knights fortunate to retain possession, so it'll be 3rd and 4. Liao Halsey at the slots. There's a quick pass caught by Chris Liao, who runs, and that's going to be enough for the first down. So the Knights convert on 3rd and 4. And Chris Liao gets about a first down.
A good route that runs just past the first down marker. First down, Knights.
So the Knights keep going. Now they're
28-yard line.
They're doing it with a whole slew of receivers today. Beltran back to pass, sprint right, throwing deep. He's got Enright, who makes the catch, makes the guy fall down, and walks into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the day. Robbie Enright.
For their 2nd touchdown connection of the day.
Menlo is now up 26-0 with an extra point coming. Let's watch this outstanding job by the offensive line. Beltran sprint, throws it to Enright, who catches the ball and cuts to his left, puts a guy on the ground, walks into the end zone. What a half for Robbie Enright. What a half for Sergio Beltran and this entire Knights unit.
26-0 Knights, just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Beltran had all day on the sprint. If we watch the replay, look at all the time he gets, and that's, you got to attribute that to the offensive line of Menlo, giving him Beltran all day to throw. And so the PAT is good. There's a flag. It looks like we'll have a running into the kicker.
There is a flag on the play.
One more time. So look at Aiden Zhao doing a great job. Max Kinder, there's absolutely no penetration by the D-line. That allows Beltran to throw. And Beltran throws it up high. Robbie Enright's one of the great high ball receivers on this Menlo Knight team. It's a natural just knack of high pointing a football, meaning he knows exactly when to jump and grab it out of the air at its highest point. That makes him a very, very difficult defender to receive. So the Knights now, 27-0. We're still in the first quarter. And the Knights, some people might have thought after their last game against Terra Nova, where the offense really struggled, that, well, maybe the Knights have been figured out, but no, that is not the case. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns. We have 1 incomplete pass on the entire day. All 4 touchdowns coming off of Sergio Beltran throws. He's hit Enright twice, Geisler once. And Tyler Flynn, the senior. So Ross Muchnick gets, and that ball, that's a live ball. Jefferson's going to have, they're going to struggle. They're going to have tough field position. We have a slew of Knights. Willis Johnson is jumping on this guy's back. Willis, you got to stay low, buddy. So the sophomore was excited. He had a nice clean shot.
Right at the goal line, Willis Johnson.
So that means Jefferson's going to take over at the 10-yard line. You watch that. You saw Willis get really low, and then he kind of jumps up onto the defender's back. At the high school level, when you don't have a physical advantage, pad level is such a key component to whether or not you're going to make tackles. So Willis Johnson's got to keep his pad level low. But he's just a sophomore, an outstanding, very talented football player. You'll see him play special teams as well as linebacker and running back. Earlier this year, Johnson started on the JV level.
Timeout Jefferson.
And he had back-to-back 100-yard games before he was pulled up to the varsity. Speaking of JV, earlier today, the Knights junior varsity program played the Jefferson Grizzlies, and Menlo won 22-0 behind an outstanding defensive performance by the young Knights.
Menlo led by their iconic head coach.
It's not bad. And so Menlo keeping it going today, up 27-0. 1 minute, 37 seconds left in this first quarter. And a lot of Knights, we have Tyler Flynn, who hasn't played much on the offensive side of the football this year. We've seen him early in the first quarter with a couple catches, including a touchdown. And now we've had Chris Liao here in the first quarter make a key conversion on a 3rd and short. And Beltran just continuing to spread the ball out to all of many threats that they have on offense. So the Knights defense comes back, and now entering the game is number 21, Sam Randall, the senior linebacker. So here's Jefferson. They keep it on the ground, up the middle, and not much there as the Menlo defense continues to frustrate Jefferson's running game.
That's Sam Randall in on the tackle for the Knights. Lieutenant G, number 52, with the carry for the Grizzlies.
So if you watch, Avery Romaine does a great job of really just holding his position.
Makes it 2nd and 7.
Taking away the edge, forcing the runner back inside so those Knights linebackers can make a tackle. Jefferson now with a 2nd and 7. Jefferson now, quarterback number 2, pump, throws, caught over the middle, and that is a complete pass, and that'll be good for a first down. Killian on the reception there. And so Jefferson comes up to us. You watch a good pump fake, and then
but it's enough for a first down.
A nice catch, tackle made by Ben Bonatow.
Ben Bonatow in on the quick tackle.
So Jefferson has number 52 in the backfield. And when you're wearing a 50s number, that means you are ineligible to go out for a pass. But as long as he's staying behind the line of scrimmage, number 52 can carry the ball and pass pro.
To Killian again, complete. Gains a few before a gang of
now
Knights
Jefferson with a quick swing pass, able to get about 3 yards.
Aiden Hausenbold.
So that's another great job by Sam Scola. He's not making the tackles, but he's holding the edge and really forcing these guys to turn inside. And you were seeing Tyler Flynn and Aiden Hausenbold get all the tackles. Well, as the end of the first quarter winds down, Menlo leading 27-0. Knights doing it on both sides of the football.
2 to Robbie Enright, 1 to Jack Geisler, and 1 to Tyler Flynn.
So the Knights, both sides of the football, dominant in this first quarter. That Jefferson, I think that might have been their first down of the game on that pass. So after plenty of 3 and outs, the Knights getting great field position on all their possessions, able to score on every possession so far. Outstanding job by this young Menlo Knights offensive line. Menlo 4-0 in their non-league schedule. They played 2 Bay teams and won convincingly in both of them. Beat the Kings Academy as well as Terra Nova. So Menlo's proving that they should be able to compete with the Bay. They have one more Bay League opponent, and that's going to be their next door neighbor, rival, Sacred Heart Prep, and that'll be at the end of the last game of the season. But in the meantime, Menlo's got their eyes set on winning the Ocean. The Ocean Division, one of the more competitive leagues in the area. They have Jefferson, always a solid football program. Next week, Menlo will be playing Hillsdale.
At Stanford Stadium. If you're recording, plug your ears. Halftime, Stanford 17, number 3 Oregon 7.
And for those at home listening, and we have 127,322 people currently logged on, you may have heard Tito Bianchi just announce the Stanford score, where the Stanford Cardinal are leading number 3 Oregon. Back to action here. We got Menlo, quarterback's rolling right. He's going to do a little pushback. Oh, caught by, and that's, see that flag? We were talking about that earlier. If you're a running back wearing a number in the 50s, you are ineligible to go downfield and make a catch. He's got to either, he can run the ball or block, but he cannot catch the ball. So this is going to be an ineligible receiver downfield.
There was a penalty on the play. It looked like an ineligible man downfield. Back the Grizzlies up.
One of the things that happens in high school football is certain times you get injuries and you have to bring a lineman to play running back. So what you want to do is generally bring extra jerseys. So if you have your lineman who normally weighs 52, you give him a different jersey number so that he can go out and catch balls and downfield.
From the 20-yard line.
So with the penalty, that makes it 2nd and 14.
Is that 52 still in the backfield?
So at corner, we have Geisler and Ty Richardson. They've been shutting down Jefferson receivers all afternoon. There's a quick pass caught. Scola out in the flats, and Richardson coming up, and now a whole host of Knights in on the tackle. That'll make it 3rd and long.
Number 7, Dylan Camp. Breaks through a few tackles, gains about 5.
So Jefferson facing yet another 3rd and long. If we watch out here, Scola unable to make the tackle. You see Enright come in, slow him down, and then look at that pursuit by Menlo. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jerseys all around the ball carrier. That's outstanding. When you get guys running to the football, that tells you that you got a defense that's hungry. So now Jefferson with a big 3rd and 8. We got a roll right, rolling, looking, throwing, and incomplete pass.
Taylor's pass intended for number 3.
That's going to, we'll most likely see the punt team come on.
Sam Scola, nearest Knight in on the action.
So great job by Halsey to
brings in the punt team for Jefferson.
Maintain, contain, yet Scola drop back in coverage.
Joey Lealau,
Menlo defense
back to kick.
With a very, very impressive first half of football.
Deep for the Knights. Ben Bonatow and Robbie Enright.
So Knights now 2 men deep. It'll be Enright and Bonatow. The junior and the senior, these are 2 safeties. The snap, and there's the kick. That's a nice deep spiral kick caught by Bonatow. He's got some space. This goes Ben Bonatow to his left, breaks a tackle, runs out of bounds, and Menlo, who's been playing on the Jefferson field all day, will again take over.
35.
And Menlo will have 1st and 10 at Jefferson's 31-yard line. So the Menlo Knights getting back. We'll see. It might be Jake Bianchi time pretty soon.
30-plus yard return. Bonatow tackled by number 80, Jericho Bautista.
In the meantime, there's a
Grizzly down on the field.
Grizzly injured.
That's number 4, Mark Torres.
And number 4, Torres, is able to get up on his own power and walk off the sidelines. So Menlo now with a 27-0 lead. Sergio Beltran, 4 touchdown passes. Looking like we'll get an opportunity to see some Jake Bianchi this game. Bianchi's played in all 4 games and had outstanding success. So it doesn't matter who's behind center for the Menlo Knights offense. They've done a great job moving the football field all season long. Also, the Knights have number 10, Will Murphy. Will Murphy's a senior quarterback, outstanding arm, and he's suited up and healthy and ready to play. So the Knights come out. They got Flynn playing at the slot, Jung, and then on the outside, Enright and Bonatow. Beltran roll right, looking deep. Tyler Flynn caught out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
Beltran rolls right. Fabulous catch by number 22, Tyler Flynn.
Tyler Flynn, he came, when he was a
Brought down
freshman,
by
he
number
may
6,
have been
Raymond Sang.
one of the better, if not the best receiver on that Menlo team. Here we are, back to action. Beltran, quick throw,
Knights,
catch,
Sergio Beltran
touchdown,
gets to the line
Ben
quickly.
Banatao.
Beltran
Tonight, offense is moving at a blistering pace. Here's the replay. Beltran quickly throws. Look at Geisler blocking. Nobody near Beltran. Excuse me, nobody near Banatao. He can walk in. So that's Sergio Beltran's 5th touchdown pass this half.
Key block. Banatao with the touchdown.
We were talking earlier about Tyler Flynn, who, as a freshman, was one of the top receivers on this team. As a sophomore, he played varsity, single back, where he's had a lot of success. But Tyler Flynn is a dangerous receiver, and we've seen him multiple times today with some big plays, including a touchdown reception. So Sergio Beltran, who in week 1 threw 7 touchdowns in the first half, has 5, and there's 9 minutes, 46 seconds left in this first half. Looking down at the sidelines, we have Jake Bianchi, the junior, and Will Murphy, the senior. They're both getting loose. And the Knights offense just doesn't miss a beat. So Menlo up 34-0. Ross Muchnick now kicking. Next week, the Knights will be playing the Hillsdale Knights. Hillsdale coming off a victory over Bay League powerhouse Sacred Heart Prep. That is sure to be an outstanding matchup between Menlo and Hillsdale. A couple of potential undefeated football teams.
Okay, Muchnick and the kick coverage team back in.
So Ross Muchnick, who's going to have to ice his leg after today. They've been keeping him busy. 5 extra points. And now his 6th kickoff. And this kickoff is going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. Jefferson takes over at the 20-yard line.
Jefferson will take over at their own 20-yard line.
So the Knights defense has been swarming all. And these games where you think the games are out of hand, the players have got to be careful. You really want to make sure that you're playing full speed, otherwise you expose yourself to injury. So the Knights, though they're up 34-0, we don't expect them to let down from an effort standpoint. Here's a snap, and that's a hand. And there's Jefferson, running back, able to power for a gain of about 6 yards. That was number 26.
Gain of 5 by the Mustangs, number 26.
So 26.
2nd and 5. The 20.
Able to rumble for about
2nd and 4 at the 26-yard
6
line.
yards. And then Jefferson with the ball down 34-0. 2nd and 4. There's a snap. It's a designed run to the quarterback. And that's a great tackle by Ty Richardson coming up, stopping Taylor
Up the middle,
short of the first. Oh, they're going to give him a first down.
right at the first down marker by number 3, Ty Richardson.
So this is good design. There's a nice move. But look at how Ty Richardson.
Grizzlies at their own 30-yard line.
Richardson just exploded and stays low. Ty Richardson, one of the more explosive players on this football team. You'll see him a lot on offense as a single back. Richardson came into the program weighing about 92 pounds, soaking wet. Is really working, putting on some weight, He's finally stopped wearing
Tyler
youth
Flynn on the
clothing,
tackle.
and now he's wearing adult smalls.
Run up the middle, Flynn penetrates.
So again, 26 with some hard running.
2nd and 8 for the Grizzlies.
That'll make it 2nd down and 8 for the Grizzlies. So Jefferson, their formation, they show some motion, fake, and they got to run up the middle, and that is again 26 rumbles up the middle for about 7 yards. It'll be 3rd and short.
Good run up the middle by the Grizzlies, brought down by Bonatow and Jung. Just shy of the 1st down marker. Brings up 3rd and inches.
So Jefferson moving the football on the ground here. And there's a bobbled snap picked up by the quarterback, who's able to get outside enough for the 1st down and more. And look at that outstanding effort by number 2 to get across midfield for another Jefferson
Terrific
1st round.
Effort by number 2, Tyler Taylor.
So the
Almost
Knights
loses the
taking a
snap,
timeout.
but is able to weave his way all the way to midfield. It's a 1st down Jefferson.
So the Knights, who were flying around the field for the first quarter and a half, slowed down a bit. Jefferson doing an outstanding job this series, driving multiple 1st downs for the first time today.
It's so helpful to say who makes the tackle, because it's really hard to find it and figure out who they are. They also don't have a number 26 on their roster, and he keeps getting the ball, so that's all right. I'm assuming Buffy printed this off as Max, right?
So the Menlo defense, after giving up only 1 1st down the entire 1st quarter, have now given up 3 1st downs on this drive. Jefferson moving the ball very effectively on the ground.
Okay, Jefferson into Menlo territory for the 1st time. 1st down at the 49-yard line.
And Jefferson now with the 1st and 10. They're starting at the Knights' 49-yard line. 7 minutes left in the 1st half. Chris Liao in its safety. He's next to junior classmate Bob Enright. Corners, Geisler and Richardson. Jefferson motion, and there's a handoff to 26, and there the Knights swarm to stop for a gain of no gain.
No gain on the run.
Senior Aiden Hausenbold
Scola,
in on the tackle.
Romaine, Hausenbold and Enright in on the tackle. I know. He's been their most effective runner, and he didn't start.
2nd and 10 for Jefferson.
Maybe he's a coach. He's a coach who goes to college.
There's a snap, roll left, turn back right. Oh, makes one man miss and thrown and caught by number 26, who drops his head and rumbles forward, taking 4 Knights to make that.
Taylor under tremendous pressure
Make that stop.
initially from number 52.
Great job by
Ralston
Jefferson
Raphael
quarterback Taylor.
Somehow completes the pass over
He
the middle.
made Raphael miss with Avery Romaine all over him, was able to flip it off to number 26. And the Grizzlies continue to march down the field. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Jefferson now, their lineup trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Quick play and pass caught by number 3, immediately met by Ty Richardson. And
Taylor's
Jefferson
pass
gets
complete to number 3, Hector
gain of about
Alapio.
4 yards.
Hit instantly by number 3, Ty Richardson.
Let's watch Richardson's closing speed on this. You see him drop back, he's about 10
Gain
yards
of
depth.
4,
Once he
brings up
sees the
2nd
ball
and
is
6.
in the air, he's able to close and immediately wrap up the defender. That's outstanding defense by Ty Richardson. Richardson, junior cornerback. Jefferson motion to the right. Snap, quick pass again, going to the single receiver, and that will be looked incomplete. They're calling that a catch.
Taylor's pass complete to number 7.
So that'll make it 3rd and 3.
Another sure tackle by number 3, Ty Richardson.
If you look at Richardson, he's playing pretty soft. They're giving about a good 8-9 yard cushion.
3rd and 3.
And Jefferson is taking what the Knights are giving him. So we'll see if Richardson continues to give that 8-yard cushion. Now he's starting to creep up. Ty Richardson didn't play much defense as a junior varsity player, was primarily used as a single back. And now here comes a slew of Knights. Tyler Flynn
with the sack.
Coming untouched with the sack.
To the 45-yard line.
Flynn is having an outstanding football game. He's forced a fumble, caught a touchdown pass, and now that's his 2nd sack of the first half. The senior linebacker doing it all on both sides of the football. That is going to leave a 4th and long. So Jefferson, just when they start moving the football, a key 3rd down sack by Tyler Flynn
The big sack brings up
pushes
4th
them back,
16,
and now
in comes
the
Jefferson's
Knights are going to
punt
get the
team.
football.
Joey Lealau back deep to kick. Robbie Enright to receive.
Back deep is the junior, Robbie Enright.
All right.
There's a snap, and that's a high, short kick with a great bounce for Jefferson. That's going to bounce, go all the way across the 15, and Menlo's going to take over
Lealau with a terrific
at their own
kick, rolls down to the
14-yard line.
14-yard line.
So Menlo, which started every possession in the first quarter in Jefferson territory, now for the first time today is going to start backed up at their own
With that
14-yard
big
line.
sack, number 22, Tyler Flynn, has a sack, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown in today's game. Doing it all on both sides of the ball.
And so the Knights coming out. Ty Richardson is
So,
checking
3
into the
minutes to
game. He'll be
play.
the single back.
In the second quarter, here comes Beltran and the Knights.
Beltran, quick pass. He's got Halsey wide open. Halsey makes one man miss, and the big guy can run. Look at Court Halsey go. He's dragging some guys down to the 35-yard line. What a weapon Court Halsey is. A big body who can block, but also catches. And you see the speed of number 88, Court Halsey. One cut, and look at that. You don't expect a guy with that size to be able to run that fast. And so Menlo, one play gets them right back into Jefferson territory, up 34-0 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Add to this gigantic lead. Court Halsey, he's a junior captain for the Knights, two-way starter, defensive end, and at that wide position, they sometimes line him up as a tight end. Oftentimes, he's kind of an inside slot. So here we go. We got Beltran lined up, Richardson in the backfield. Knights in trips right. They got Sam Scola, who's also playing slot. Out wide is Enright and Bonatow. Beltran drops, looks. He has time. He's going to run. Now he's Halsey open, who he dumps it off to. There's a lot of room for Court Halsey. And Halsey is going to just run untouched down the sideline. That is touchdown pass. Number 6 for Sergio Beltran.
50 yards on the first play and 33 yards for the touchdown on the next.
So Sergio Beltran, earlier this year, he had 7 touchdowns in a half. This half, he just throws touchdown number 6, Court Halsey.
Beltran's 6th touchdown pass of the first half, and in comes Muchnick for the kick.
So now with 2 minutes, 47 seconds left, Menlo will be kicking another PAT. It'll be Ross Muchnick. This Menlo Knights offense, once they get going, it's hard to stop, and it can be extremely deflating for defense. So the Jefferson kids who started moving the ball last drive, they looked really good running the football. But now Jefferson down 41-0, and at this point you really hope that both teams are going to continue to compete and play hard. there was a flag on the play that was eventually waved off. And so Menlo is kicking off for the 7th time this first half.
Continues to spread the ball around. He's thrown touchdowns now to Flynn, Geisler, 2 to Enright.
Alex Levitt, a junior, number 16. Charlie King, a junior, number 19. They're part of this Menlo Knight kickoff team that's been outstanding on kickoff coverage. Willis Johnson, the sophomore. Chris Liao. We also Ross Muchnick's the kicker, number 62. Alec Jabal. Sam Scola, who's been playing on both sides of the ball, is also there. Ty Richardson, number 3. 57. Aiden Zhao also a part of this kickoff team. Ari Crane, the junior. So the night kickoff coverage has been outstanding.
Killian and Camp back deep for the Grizzlies.
And Russ Muchnick will kick off. And here comes Muchnick's kick. That's deep, and that's going to get into the end zone for a touchback.
On the fly into the end zone.
So Ross Muchnick, his last 2 kicks have gone into the end zone.
60+ yards in the air results in a touchback.
And now Jefferson will take over, start at their own 20-yard line. So we're sure to see in the second half, we'll see some Jake Bianchi. We'll also likely see Will Murphy, his first action of the season. Murphy last year was a junior quarterback in some spot, checked in, and he had a couple of outstanding touchdown passes last year as a junior. So here comes Jefferson on first down. Number 26 is now pushing the pile forward for a gain of about 2.
Jefferson with a strong run up the middle.
Menlo,
Met hard by
2
number
timeouts
26,
left in the
Willis
half.
Johnson.
And into the game is sophomore linebacker Willis Johnson. Willis was called up
Gain of 2 brings up
2
second
games ago
and 8.
against the Terra Nova game. And the sophomore has been helping out on special teams. He can play single back, and now he's playing middle linebacker at the varsity level. We had some movement by Jefferson. Looks like a false start. That should back him up 5 yards.
Penalty.
So it'll remain second down.
13.
2nd and 13 for Menlo. So Johnson in at middle linebacker. Hausenbold getting a breather. Flynn, Carter Jung, and Scola playing linebacker. And Jefferson keeping it on the ground. And look at the sophomore, Willis Johnson, knife through and make a nice tackle.
Willis Johnson with another strong tackle.
So watch the replay. Watch Johnson uses his quickness, stays low, sheds a block, does a great job of wrapping up right around the ankles and taking down Jefferson ball carrier. So here it is, 3rd and 9 for Jefferson. The clock continuing to tick down to 1 minute. There's a throw, and that's caught and immediately tackled by Sam Scola. Scola's been all over the field this first half.
Number 21, Nathan Sands.
And so the clock ticking.
By Sam Scola.
26 seconds left. Looks like Jefferson is going to let this clock run out, and the Knights will go into halftime up 41-0. An outstanding display of football on both sides of the ball by the Menlo Knights. So we're at halftime. Menlo 41, Jefferson 0.
Their other great name
we good here? Are we live? And welcome back to the second half of the Menlo Knights against the Jefferson Grizzlies.
Welcome back to the second half here at Cartan Field.
Menlo will be kicking off
The Knights will kick
up 41-0.
holding a 41-0 lead.
And so with the 41-0 lead, the referees have decided to institute the running clock rule, which means that the clock will continue to run even on incomplete passes
Back deep for the Grizzlies
and out of bounds
will be Cam and
plays.
Killian.
So Muchnick, who has kicked off 6 times already, getting set for his 7th kick of the afternoon, including 6 PATs. And this one is caught right in front of the goal line. And there goes Jefferson. And they are going to be swarmed at around the 17-yard line by a host of Menlo Knights. The Menlo Knight kickoff coverage team has been outstanding all afternoon. Alec Jabal, number 62, along with Chris Liao in on that tackle.
Killian with the kick return, brought down by Lau and Jabal.
So Jefferson lining up.
Take over 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
And that'll be Lieutenant G in at running back. And on the blind side is going to be Wyatt Earp. And so on the first pass, Jefferson completes the pass, but Menlo's defensive backs are there immediately. Banatao, Jack Geisler all swarming, and that's going to actually be a loss of a couple yards.
Pass complete. The Knights swarm in with Banatao, Jung, and Geisler.
So that'll be second
No
and
gain.
about 12.
Actually, loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12.
The Knights coming in, their starting defense is on the field. That senior linebacking core of Jung, Flynn, Hausenbold, and Scola. They are behind that junior defensive line group. Ralston Raphael in the middle, Halsey and Avery Romaine on the edge. Here we go. We got a quick pass, and that's caught and almost picked off by
Pass
Aiden
intended
Hausenbold.
For number 21, Nathan Sands, broken up by Aiden Hausenbold. Brings up 3rd and 12.
So the Knights defense forcing yet another 3rd and long.
I did that once for the guy who was up here. It was nice. He was for another high school. I can't remember which one. 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And the clock continuing to run, even though we had an incomplete pass. So Richardson and Geisler remain in a corner. And here's the snap, rolling left, and now throwing deep and caught by Robbie Enright,
Taylor
but
looking
out of
down the
bounds.
sideline for number 7, Dylan Camp.
So the Knights defense and
Ball
Robbie
is
Enright
caught
all over the field.
by Robbie Enright.
We talked earlier today about Enright with that skill, the ability to high point a football. We really see that here. Look at him jump up, almost able to get that left foot down for an interception. We've
Joey
seen Knights make
Lealau in for the kick.
athletic, acrobatic interceptions all season long. Ty Richardson had a memorable one against the Kings Academy along the sideline. And so Jefferson on 4th and long will be forced to punt. Deep back for the Knights, junior Robbie Enright and senior Ben Banatao.
Banatao and Enright deep for the Knights.
And here's the snap. And it looks like a fake. And Jefferson, punter's going to keep it, and he's going to rumble down the sideline, close to first down. There's a flag on the play.
Jefferson with the fake punt.
So let's look at the flag first.
There is a flag on the play.
Now, a couple things going on. Did the punter, Lealau, get the first down? But that is all going to be irrelevant based on what the penalty is. The referee's discussing. And as they discuss, the clock continues to wind. The flag will be picked up, and that will be a first down.
The gutsy call by the Grizzlies is a first down.
And so Jefferson on 4th and 12, their punter, the big number 55, takes the ball tucks it, runs around the right edge, and is able to gain 14 yards to give Jefferson a first down. First and 10 for the Grizzlies. There's a snap. This will be a QB sweep. And getting outside, but met immediately by Ty Richardson coming up from the cornerback position to hold the quarterback to no gain.
First and 10 from their own 29. Taylor sweeps right. Looks to be met by number 3.
So that's a great job by defensive end Avery Romaine, who's able to force the runner to bump backwards.
Looks like Geisler and Jung in on the tackle, not Richardson.
And so brings up a 2nd and 10 for Jefferson. And a penalty flag. Looks like we have a procedure penalty. That'll be a false start on Jefferson. That'll make it 2nd and 15. Now checking into the game is number 26, Willis Johnson, the sophomore. Johnson had some extensive playing time in that first half, made a couple of really good athletic plays, so the Knights have got to be happy about Johnson being pulled up and able to contribute immediately to this defense.
For the Grizzlies.
So the Knights remain in their 3-4, and we got a swarm of Knights. There's Johnson again. So just talking about Willis Johnson, he's able to come untouched into the backfield, stuffing the quarterback for a minus 10-yard gain. Let's watch this. Look at Johnson. Nobody accounts for him. He just goes untouched around the center.
That'll bring up 3rd and 24.
For the big sack. So the sophomore's got to be excited about making a play. And then 62, Alec Jabal's into the game. He's playing on the end. And now here we go. And, throwing and pulling the ball back was Taylor, who gets hit by Avery Romaine.
Brought down by big 55 Avery Romaine.
Avery Romaine been applying pressure
sack of the game
all season long.
62. Excuse me? Who was 62? Alex Jabal. Okay.
And so this time the Jefferson now is going to be faced with about a 4th and 32. It'd be very surprising if they were to
back to kick again from his own end zone.
Fake it this time. Last time on a 4th and 14, they did a fake punt. And Lealau hesitates and then kicks. It's a short kick that takes a Menlo bounce and is going to be downed inside the 20-yard line.
Inside the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
And so Menlo's offense coming back out on the field with a 41-0 lead. So here comes the Knights offense. And
Sergio Beltran and the Knights come out.
Surprisingly, with a 41-0 lead, Sergio Beltran is
take over at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10.
Going to remain at the quarterback. Beltran, 3 steps, throwing to a wide open Carter Jung.
Beltran finds Jung over the middle. That's a touchdown for Carter Jung, his first of the day.
So that'll make it 47-0. Beltran, 7 touchdown passes today. That time Jung was able to run, split the 2 safeties, and Beltran found him open in the end zone. So about 3 minutes left, running clock. Sergio Beltran starting the second half. Throws a touchdown pass.
Kick is good.
So the Knights extend their lead to 48-0. Next week, Menlo will take on the Hillsdale Knights, who've had an outstanding start to their football season, including victory over Bay League opponent Sacred Heart Prep. That will be the homecoming game for Menlo. 3 o'clock kickoff. So the Knights and Ross Muchnick. Muchnick today has kicked 7 extra points, and this will be his 8th kickoff of the afternoon. Jefferson continues with league play. Next week they have it'll be their second league game in the PAL Ocean.
Muchnick with the kick. Camp and Killian back deep.
Yesterday, Aragon, also a PAL Ocean opponent, played at the Kings Academy and had a convincing victory. So there have been several teams in the PAL Ocean this year who on their non-league schedule have competed and defeated some of these Ocean teams. We've seen Aragon defeat Kings Academy. We have seen Hillsdale defeat Sacred Heart Prep. And Menlo, of course, defeated 2 Bay teams, Terra Nova and Kings Academy. So next week, Jefferson will play Cappuccino. Cappuccino, also an Ocean team. They played yesterday and beat Carlmont. So here we go, 42 seconds left in the third quarter. Jefferson and Lieutenant Gee goes off tackle, gets about 2 yards.
Lieutenant G, carry up the middle. Switched his number from the earlier 52. Gain of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 for the Grizzlies.
And so the Knights with some defensive substitutions. Number 56, Aiden Zhao's in the game. He's playing the nose. And on the end is Alec Jabal. And 57 is Cisco Samano. And as the teams get together, the third quarter is winding down. A quick quarter based on the running clock. So 48-0 Menlo. And Jefferson will start the fourth quarter with the football. So this game, Menlo just got out to a blistering start, getting up early and really forcing Jefferson to get out of their game plan and try to move the ball through the air, which is something they're generally a running team. The Menlo defense has done an outstanding job stopping the run and pass all day. So the Knights starting defensive line consisting of the 3 juniors, Ralston Raphael, Court Halsey, and Avery Romaine will be replaced by a defensive line of 3 juniors, Aiden Zhao, Alec Jabal, and Cisco Samano. And so on 2nd and long, there's another run by Lieutenant G, who's rumbling and getting across down to about the 30-yard line, just short of a first down.
First stood up by Sam Scola.
That's going to make it 3rd and 1. Check that.
That's a first down.
First down for Jefferson. Now entering the game, 54, that's Ari Crane. Crane today did an outstanding job and is making his first start as an offensive guard. That entire offensive line today played really well. And so Jefferson sticking with their run game and having some success. This is G going for a gain of about 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Scola and Enright in on the tackle.
Carter Jung, Ari Crane, Willis Johnson, Sam Scola are the linebackers. We have Chris Liao entering the game as a safety. Number 19, Charlie King, the talented cornerback, junior, checking into the game. Charlie King's one of those guys. He came in as a freshman. Like most kids at Menlo, had never played football before. Really established himself as a shutdown corner for the scout teams. And based on that outstanding effort he'd give during practice, he earned himself a starting job as a sophomore and was a very successful coverage corner as a sophomore. Nowadays, as a junior, playing on varsity, he's getting an opportunity to come in, and he's an extremely talented cover cornerback, number 19. So there's G. Jefferson staying on the ground, and G rumbles for a gain of about 15 yards, and that'll move the chains and make it a first down Jefferson.
Who's 20? Or is that 26? Oh, 26. G rumbles up the middle again. You got that stuff. Thanks. That's a first down for the Grizzlies.
And so
Willis
Menlo
Johnson in on the tackle.
defense coming in. There's a deep pass, and that is going to be flag on the play. Looks like Menlo's going to get called for a
Intended for number 3.
pass interference call.
Hector Alapio.
Enright, Richardson, Liao all in on the coverage.
Called on the play. It'll be a first down for the
Looks like the
Grizzlies.
receiver and Enright, their feet got tangled, and that'll be a pass interference. So Jefferson continuing to move the ball down the field. They'll get 15 yards via penalty here. The clock continues to run. 8:40 left in this football game.
With the penalty,
So checking into the game,
Jefferson will take over
Alex
first and
Levitt,
10
number 16. He's a
at the 38
junior
yard line.
who played football for the first time as a sophomore during the shortened season. Was a really quick study. Alex Levitt understands football concepts very well. He's able to learn both the difficult offense and defensive schemes very quickly.
By number 5,
It's
Jones.
great to see him get an opportunity here to play for the
Number
Knights.
19, Charlie King.
So there's Jefferson with a quick play. Look at Charlie King. We were talking about him, the way he closes on the football really quickly. Great
Gain of
job
3
making the
brings
tackle.
up 2nd and 6.
And so Jefferson putting together a nice drive here late in the football game. And there's Lieutenant G, and he's met by a host of Menlo Knights. Willis Johnson in on the play.
57, Autumn Matre. Willis Johnson and Autumn Matre
And that's
in on the tackle.
Cisco Samano. In
57 is Cisco Samano. Excuse me, 57 is Cisco Samano.
And Samano joined the team a few weeks ago. He played both his freshman and sophomore
Excellent
year.
play.
Great opportunity to come in. Playing on the
Brings up
defensive
3rd
line,
and
building
7.
some depth on this defensive line. And so Samano with the key stop.
Timeout Jefferson.
So Jefferson calls a timeout. That will stop the clock. During a running clock, the only thing that can stop a clock is a timeout. So on 3rd and 7, Jefferson marching down the field, doing a really good job running the football this drive. The Menlo defense is getting in. A lot of guys are getting an opportunity to get some game experience. We've seen the sophomore Willis Johnson make a couple of key plays, including
Up the
A
peninsula,
sack
the big
earlier.
WCAL high school football score. Sarah 20, Bellarmine 0 at halftime. What's the score?
And so the team's coming out of their huddles. 3rd and 7.
With 10 minutes to play at Stanford Stadium. Score 17-7. 17-17. Oregon Stanford tied at 17 with 10 minutes to play. All right, 3rd and 7.
And Jefferson with trips to the left. Taylor out of the gun. Hands it off. No, keeps it. And he's got a lane. And Taylor still on his feet. Running, shaking tackles, and a host of Knights are able to wrap him up, but not after another first down run.
Taylor fakes it to Lieutenant G. Keeps it around the right side.
So
That's enough
Scola,
for
Chris
first
Liao,
down
Charlie
conversion.
King, all in on the play, but a great job by Taylor to break multiple
Good
tackles.
deceptive move by Taylor gives the Grizzlies first down at the 23-yard line.
And the Grizzlies' drive continues. There goes G again, still running, and he will not go down. The referees will blow the whistle with G still standing up, and that's going to be a gain of about 10 yards. So the Lieutenant
G up the middle again.
having an outstanding,
Finally brought down at the 15-yard line.
outstanding drive,
Just shy of the first down.
carrying
Brings up
Menlo
second and
Knights
1.
people on his back. Check that. We said that would be enough for a first down. That's a gain of 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1 for Jefferson. First time today, they're inside the 20. Oh, and G met immediately by number 54. That's Ari Crane. Ari Crane, he played the entire game at right guard,
Number 52.
and he times that
Ralston
perfectly.
Raphael and 54, Ari Crane. Big tackle, Crane.
And so a big
So
stop
loss of
by
2
Crane
brings up 3rd down and 3.
makes it 3rd and short for Jefferson. Definitely 4-down territory here. And here come the Jefferson showing blitz, and that's Carter Jung coming out of the
Taylor
backfield.
fakes up the middle to G. Tries to keep it around the left side, but he's tracked down.
And that's
by
going to
number
be a
5.
loss of
Carter
4
Jung.
yards.
Great play
Jung
by
timed that
results in a
perfectly, came
sack
off the edge,
and brings up 4th down.
and now 4th and 8 for Jefferson. Here's the snap. There's a throw. And that is caught for a touchdown. No, not a touchdown. Caught. Outstanding catch
Taylor drops back,
in
passes
tight
down the
coverage.
side.
And that is going to be
Hector
caught
Alapio.
by Alapio
Pass is caught.
inside the
He's forced
1 yard
out of
line.
bounds at the 1 yard line.
So Jefferson again converting on a 4th and long. Earlier we saw them convert on
Jefferson
4th and
converts
14.
on 4th and long. They now have 1st and goal on the 1 yard line.
And now Jefferson getting ready, trying to put some points on the board.
No one's guarding 80. No one's guarding 80.
And so the Knights
No one's guarding 80. Get out there, Sam.
Oh, and handoff up the middle by G.
Down.
So there's G.
Clock will stop for an
The
injury
ball comes
timeout.
down. The ball popped out. The referees are saying that the ball came out after G was down. And a Jefferson player was down injured on the field. And injuries is one of those instances where they will stop the clock during a running clock. So Jefferson moving this drive beat Torrey. They've brought the ball all the way. They were inside the 1. It's now going to be 2nd and goal from about the 4 yard line after a tackle for loss by Menlo. Earlier before the game, I was talking with the Jefferson coaches in Daly City. They get to play. It's a lot cooler and they get a lot of fog, so they're used to playing where guys are wearing jackets and coats. Today, a very warm, hot day in Menlo, and you can see that's taking its toll on the Jefferson players. So, in Jefferson player able to walk off the field on his own
Grizzlies kick
accord.
over, 2nd and goal at the 4 yard line.
And with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game, Jefferson, empty backfield, 4 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right, and that's going to be a direct QB run, and Jefferson is in for a touchdown, number 7. So the Grizzlies get on the board.
Dylan Camp in at quarterback for the play.
48-6.
He takes the keeper up the middle, and the Grizzlies punch it in for a touchdown.
And so Menlo, with 2:50 left, will get the football up 48-6. Jefferson getting lined up for an extra point. It's a methodical 80-yard drive, including some key conversions on both 3rd and 4th and long for Jefferson. Finally able to punch it in from 4 yards out. So here's the snap. That kick is good. And with 2 minutes, 25 seconds left, clock running, it is 48-6. Check that, 48-7, Menlo over Jefferson. So Jefferson, what they did, they put 4 receivers to the left side of the football, spreading out horizontally the Knights defense, single receiver to the right, and then just called a quarterback draw. They had their 5 linemen against Menlo's 5 players in the interior.
Sandoval back on the field for the Grizzlies.
Menlo's football games, which have been
He's set to kick with Geisler and Richardson.
2 o'clock kickoff starts all season long at home. They'll be at home next week. However, we'll have a kickoff at 3 o'clock, and that's because it's going to be Menlo's homecoming.
3 p.m. next week against Hillsdale. Who's Hillsdale?
Hillsdale is coming off a bye. Recently defeated Sacred Heart Prep by a score of 20-17. Knights of Hillsdale are having outstanding success this season. And so there's a kick, and that is off of Menlo. Ball still loose. Recovered by Jefferson.
Pooch kick by the Grizzlies. Knights unable to corral it. Ball recovered by number 7, Dylan Camp for Jefferson.
So Sergio Beltran denied an opportunity to throw another touchdown pass. And Jefferson retains the football. Jefferson put together an outstanding drive. And so with 20 seconds left in this football game, Jefferson might have time for 1 or 2 more plays. And there it is. There's a deep ball, and that was and that's a
Taylor's pass down the sideline intended for number 7, Dylan Camp. There is a flag on the play.
might be a pass interference on Menlo. We'll see what the referees say. I don't think it's going to matter much as this game has just ended. The refs are pulling up the flag. And that's it. That's the final. Menlo 48, Jefferson 7. We'll see everyone next week as Menlo plays the Hillsdale Knights.
Both sides deserve a big round of applause for a hard-fought game.
Outstanding effort by both the Knights and Jefferson.
At 3 p.m. for a homecoming date with Hillsdale. Hillsdale is on a bye this week, but beat Sacred Heart Prep that last week. So next week is sure to be an intense battle. Thanks everyone for coming. Once again, the final score here at Cartan Field, 48-7. Menlo moves to 5-0 in the season.